Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Jump Up Supercast Game Club. It is me, your host. It is Brandon. I'm here again. And this week, we played another video game, if you can believe that. And I'm also joined by my friends, Noah.
It's me.
And Saf. I hope you were holding your hand up to your mouth when you were doing that. I really do.
Oh, I totally was.
Good. I'm proud of you.
Totally was.
Very good. This week on the Game Club, we played Zack and Wiki, the quest for Barbaros Treasure. And this game was released on the Nintendo Wii, or I know that's blasphemy for me to say. Muzzy be damned. This game was released on the Wii back in October 23rd, 2007, North America. It's developed by Capcom and published by Capcom. And it's an interesting game. It's a little adventure puzzle game. Kind of a point and click adventure game. Where you play as Zack. And he's accompanied by his little monkey pal, Wiki, who could transform into a bell. Very random.
The only.
But a little flying monkey. He's also very cute, though. So this game, it came out early in the Wii's life cycle. Probably, it was within the first year. Because just barely within the first year. But it still came out early on the Wii. One of the first, games for the Wii that I remember hearing a lot about, oh, you gotta get this game if you own a Wii. So I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I did have this game. I bought it when it first came out. I remember a lot of places, a lot of publications pushing this game real hard. You should buy this game. It's great. They weren't wrong. And unfortunately, though, this game only sold 300,000 copies worldwide in the first year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I remember a review on IGN. I think it was on IGN, but it was specifically talking about how good this game was.
Mm-hmm.
And the main point of contention there was it's going to be a sad situation where it's this game isn't going to do well because of the art style and how it looks and how it's
because the art style. Yeah, I mean, it's a real shame. The game only sold 35,000 copies in November 2007 in the United States. And that's the holiday season, so it's not very many. I bought it though, so you're welcome, Capcom. But it's a shame that this game didn't pick up because it's actually a really great game. And so I actually did read that Capcom's senior director at the time described the game's sales numbers as abysmal, and they were like, man, it's tough, and unfortunately a sequel is probably never going to happen. And that's a shame. And they also, it was weird because they banked on this game. It didn't get very much marketing, at all. And Capcom was really hoping that this game would get that word of mouth marketing that Phoenix Wright got. Because Phoenix Wright's also obviously a very good game, amazing game in its own right. And it got that word of mouth. People were playing it, and then, dude, have you played this game? Phoenix Wright? It's awesome. They barely marketed that game, but everybody knew about it because people were talking about it. And they were hoping that this would have the same thing. It unfortunately didn't really happen. Never picked up. So, that's a shame, but, enough about the sad things here. We're going to talk about the good things about Zack and Wiki.
The good stuff.
Because, we played Zack and Wiki, and this game, like you said, Saf, it has, it has a good art style. One that doesn't look adult. It looks cartoony. It uses cel-shaded graphics. But the graphics, honestly, they hold up real great. Even today. Especially by the Wii standards. Great.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the... I mean, that's how you would compensate for, the fact that it's standard definition instead of HD, where it's you focus more on the art style rather than the actual, realistic aspect of a game. And I feel as though for this type of point-and-click puzzle game, that sort of cartoonish style would really, really suit the type of game that they're trying to represent, and
Yeah, exactly.
it works really well. It's the 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 main issue with the art style, I feel as though, is like for the type of it's designed. It looks like and it feels like it's designed to be for young kids. Like it looks like it's gonna be. It's very cartoonish.
It does. At the glimpse of an eye, it's got a little bit of anime to it.
Yeah, a little bit of anime.
Yeah.
The villains are fucking. Is a little girl. There's like fucking animals, cutesy animals in there, and it's like the death or like the game over screen whenever you fail a puzzle. It's like it's very cartoonish. It's not really that serious. And it's like the story itself as well. It's like I'm just jumping through. It's like it's very very simple, but the puzzles themselves that doesn't feel like it's for kids at all.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing. Is that it looks like it's for kids, and it is deceiving in that way because when you play that game, it is very much adult because no kid is figuring out this game. I can tell you that because the game gets very difficult. And, not impossible. It's a very, fair challenge. I never, you get stumped a little bit, but I never felt myself like pulling my hair out because I was stumped, like couldn't figure out what to do. There's a couple times where you have to really think about it and kind of experiment, and eventually you figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely, deceiving in that end. But the art style works for, it holds up because it looks so, it uses cell shaded, and cell shaded graphics really hold up over time. This game, I was playing it on, my Wii U through HDMI. And it looks great. It looks amazing. I've played a lot of Wii games nowadays. Like going back to them, you're like, ugh, God, ugh. This looks like shit, right? Like it's really pixelated. Like it doesn't look good. This game looks really, really good.
I know. It looks fantastical, shall we say? And it just sorry, it looks fantastical, and it looks it's a quirky little cartoon pirate art style that I just enjoy watching. The monkey is the most adorable thing, the most useless, and yet simultaneously the most adorable thing I've ever.
Okay, he's so adorable. You are right. He's not completely useless though. He turns into a bell, and that bell can transforms other animals into useful items.
There are a lot of items that are completely out of reach that fucking creature can reach. But refuses to do so.
Oh, like, you mean like in terms of helping out Zack in that way? Yeah.
Yes. He's useless, but he's so fucking adorable. It's like, okay, yeah, no. And I love Johnny Styles.
Oh yeah,
Johnny Styles.
Yeah, because you're part of this the I can't remember the name. It's like the Rabbit Gang. So you're part of a new pirate crew, and they're all a bunch of rabbits. And Johnny Styles is the pilot. He's awesome.
He's some cool looking rabbit.
He's a cool dude, man, and he calls the rival gang the Rose Pirates, the Rose Bone Pirates, I think. He calls the leader there Rose. He calls her Babe all the time when they're arguing with each other. He's a smooth dude. He's a smooth operator. He shows up in like almost all the levels, just like in a hidden spot randomly.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, so the gameplay plays out, like a point and click, like we said. You use what's it called? The Wii remote when you just point it at the screen. That kind of controls. It's got a specific name. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, you point the Wii remote.
AR sensor.
AR sensor, yeah. And is a little star, and that star cursor, you click to move Zack around, and wherever you click, Zack will walk. You can click on items and interact with stuff. And the cool thing about this game, though, that really stands out, especially at the time, is it uses the Wii remote in very creative ways that at the time, a lot of games, especially early on the Wii, weren't really taking advantage of. And you look at a lot of early Wii games, and they're just waggle controls. They're just lots of mini games too, mini game collections where all it is waggle. And this game was using the Wii Remote in basically as many creative ways as it possibly could. You had to hold the Wii Remote like, NES controller in the palm of your hands, upside down, twist and turn. So it was very creative at the time.
Yeah, there's a specific example where it's like, again, it's going to be the first level, where it's like you're holding a crankshaft, and one side is like a square peg, triangle peg, and the other one is a cross-shaped peg. Yeah. And in order to switch the sides, you just kind of flick the remote to flick the crank to show the other peg, and it's stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you flip the Wii remote.
Unfortunately, just like a lot of other Wii games, when they tried, they had really nice ideas with the motion controls, but it wasn't executed the best because the Wii motion, or the Wii motion sensor in general, is not accurate.
Not super accurate.
That is true.
There are times where it doesn't work amazing, and it does get a little bit frustrating. But for the most part, it's really cool to see all the different ways that they... there's dozens of ways that they have you hold the Wii remote and do stuff, whether it's, inserting a key and twisting the key, kind of feels cool to twist your Wii remote, to twist, it's like you're actually, using the key. One of the cool things I liked, and there's lots of examples, and I just want to use one early game because I don't want to give like too many spoilers, even though most of the gameplay footage I recorded that you're probably going to see is like from like one of the end worlds, but whatever. But... one of the early examples that's really cool was, right in the beginning, the tutorial, you're falling, and you grab an umbrella, and you're looking at the umbrella, and for some reason, the umbrella has a 2 on it, on the handle. And, you use the umbrella, you hold your Wii remote upright, and then you press the 2 button, because the game doesn't tell you this, but it makes it obvious through the fact that the umbrella has a 2. It's kind of creative, and you hit the 2, and then the umbrella opens in the game, and, you fall to safety. I like that a lot. There's different examples later on that do stuff. One of the levels that I recorded gameplay footage of has you picking up a telephone, and there's different items in the room. Once you pick up the telephone, the different items in the room make different sound effects, and you have to go interact with those items in that same order, and the sound effects actually come through the Wii remote.
Yeah, that will give it. Yeah.
And it was cool. I liked it. They were like, they just used the Wii remote to its full advantage. There are specific spots where I got really pissed off with the Wii remote, but. Overall,
just to clarify one thing, this was a launch game, right? This was one of like the earliest days of the Wii.
Well, it was early days in the Wii. It was within the first year, just within the first year.
Yeah. So obviously, So like at that time, it was quite revolutionary because of like the different things that they were throwing, or different things that they were trying out.
Definitely.
But seeing it now, however, it's still like aside from the speaker stuff, like some of this stuff is kind of aged poorly, and it's kind of some of the sparkle is just kind of left of it. Like you mentioned, like turning the key off just to a lock. How many times have you done that in fucking Zelda Skyward Sword, for example? Stuff like that. So it's like some of that it feels as though it's aged a little bit, and some of that it just kind of doesn't feel fresh. But at the time, it was a really cool feature. It was fun. And
I think the key turning thing is kind of cool too, because they don't use it a lot. There were a couple times, and this is, I think, in the gameplay too, where I was trying to tilt. I had like a beaker, and I was trying to fill it with specific colors to make a potion. And God, if you watch me play it, you can see how frustrating it was for me to I was trying to tilt it, but you couldn't. You had to do like a specific amount, like 1 part this color, 2 parts this color, 3 parts this color in the beaker. So you didn't want to pour too much in. So I was trying to do it a little bit, and the fucking thing would just keep jerking back and forth, Yeah, I would try to do a little bit, but the thing would be like, I was like, come on, just fucking go, just go. It gets a little frustrating, unfortunately, it's part of the time. The ideas were super creative. It's just the technology wasn't
there.
It wasn't there, yeah.
Totally. I was like, I feel as though, because the puzzles were kind of hard, which is surprising because it was, as I mentioned before, it felt like it was supposed to be targeted to kids, and some of the motion controls have aged kind of poorly, which is something I'm going to try and be like the negative person on, because I know you don't like making criticism about that games, but you have to be it. But this is something I need to feel needs to be highlighted in regards to this game. And
Oh, for sure. I mean, some of them did age poorly. That's for sure. My biggest complaint is one right near the end of the game, where you have to use it as a sword. You have to do like a sword fighting thing against these skeletons. It's awful, man. It is real bad. You have to. It took me forever. I got really frustrated too, and this is another thing. I guess if I had to point out one thing I don't like, so the game, you when you go through the game, you get money, through different, picking up boulders and stuff, or finding secrets, and you collect coins, and you can use those coins in a in-game shop in between levels to buy extra lives, or they're like continue tickets. You can also buy hint dolls.
Platinum tickets, aren't they?
Platinum tickets, yeah. And those give you an extra try if you fail. Instead of having to restart the level, you can use one of your tickets. And you also can get hint dolls, which will just give you a hint if you're stuck. Yeah, I never actually used any of the hint dolls. I refused. I was very stubborn. But with the tickets, I would use if I was playing through a level, 25, 30 minutes, and all of a sudden I died. And I was like, I don't want to do all that over again. Sure, it won't take me as long because now I know what I'm doing, but I don't really want to do it all over again. So, I got to this point. I was probably like a good 30-something minutes in a level. This was the second to last level before the end of the game. And the guy, you have to fight these skeletons with a sword. And you have to block their swings by tilting the Wii remote, and if you get hit 3 times, you die. I kept dying, and I was getting real mad because I used up all my tickets, and I was like, "What the fuck? I gotta start this whole damn level all over again now." And now I don't have any tickets for later on if I get further in the level and die. So the whole buying extra life thing, and then if you wanted to, you'd have to go back to previous levels and grind. That's I hate that. I don't like that. That's frustrating to me.
Yeah.
Although the levels do give themselves a little bit of replayability, because when you're playing through the level, you get a score for different things that you accomplish. And if you accomplish them in your first try, as opposed to messing up a couple times, you get higher scores. So overall, at the end, you get kind of like a ranking, and they give you, you get score based on that. And there's also, every level has different random kind of hidden collectibles that you can find that are like different little 8-bit versions of different Capcom characters, which is cool. Like I found Mega Man, I found Captain Commando, Bionic Commando, 1941 plane, different random things through Capcom's history. It's that's really neat. But that it gives you replayability. And also, once you beat the game, it adds 3 hidden treasure chests to every level that you can go back and just find extra stuff.
Yeah.
So the game's not super long. It took me like 14, 15 hours to beat. But it does have a little bit of replayability. I probably won't bother going back, but if you were really into trying to get that higher score, that is something that you could do.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've talked as much as we can about the gameplay. It's like, what about the stories? And actually, what about the music? Because I didn't think it was much that was noteworthy.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. The main theme I liked. Is very
it fits,
very piratey.
Yeah,
kind of remind me of some of it sounded straight out of the One Piece anime soundtrack.
I guess. Wait, doesn't
I really like
character wear red and blue like fucking Luffy from One Piece?
He does wear red. He does have a red vest. So and at the end, in between levels, as you complete them, you get your wanted poster. It starts off as stick figures, it looks like shit. But the further on you get, the higher score you get, your ranking goes up, and your picture gets progressively better. And you get a different rank, and the last rank you get once near the end is legendary pirate king. So you also become king of the pirates.
Nice.
Yeah.
I kind of like, yeah, it fit, that's for sure. But it's like, it was nothing that was exciting for me. And it's like the characters and story was kind of a bit, I don't know, like the characters were fun, that's for sure. They were simple, but they were fun. Like I said, mentioned before, like Johnny Styles is great. And I love the pirate girl, simply because she's like, this is like my favorite fucking anime trope. Whereas it's just this fucking pompous, well, she acts pompous and rich. And she
spoiled rich girl.
Right? Yeah, basically. I love that anime trope. I don't know why, but I really, really love it when they just laugh and they just cover their mouths, shit like that. It's like, I really enjoyed that villain, just for like, on a personal level. But they are kind of simple. Like, there's nothing there that's like major or like nothing that's developed or more than just 2D. And like the story itself is also simple. It's just not. It's not as complex. As
you stumble upon the head of Barbaros, the legendary pirate. He's got a little floating animated head, and he sends you on an adventure. And he says, "Hey, I need can you collect the rest of me? All my parts are scattered around, and they're all hidden in all these treasure chests. Can you please go get the rest of my body parts?" So that's basically what you do. And he says, if you do it, I will, I will give you my legendary pirate ship and show you where Treasure Island is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that plan's not going to backfire at all.
Yeah, you can trust a golden floating head.
Yes. Spoiler alert. Plan backfires. But yeah, that's basically the story, but it's fine. It's
fine.
You don't need, not every game needs like a huge driving narrative to get it going forward. It's a simple point and click puzzle adventure.
This game's main focus was the puzzles and the point and click, trying to figure out how to clear the levels.
Yeah, and when it comes to that, this game like excels.
That and the motion controls, that was like its main goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But when it comes to just being a fun, simple adventure point and click game, this game excels, man. This game is great. And unlike each, old point and click games where there was a lot of backtracking, right? Where the game was kind of, open world, like you could go, you'd get an item, but that item might fucking be used way back near the beginning of the game, and you have to like travel all the way back just to use that item,
Mm-hmm.
This game has like self-contained levels. You get an item in a level, and you're using it in this self-contained area. And after the level's over, all those items are, you collect, you shows them on a collection screen, but you don't get them. Next level, you start fresh. It's not like older older point and click games. Some of them got a little tedious, like fetch questy, where you be running around, or you get something and you're like, where do I use this? Only to think, oh my god, I have to use this way back at the beginning of the game. I know where to use this, but this game doesn't really have that. It's kind of, I do like that in this, how every level is its own self-contained puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And I guess it can work in his favor in that respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like it a lot. And in terms of, the characters are really fluid too. The animation's really nice. They're very expressive. Like Zack is, especially because he's the silent protagonist, but he's very expressive. All the stuff that he does, he really reacts to
chocolate.
It. Mm-hmm. He does love chocolate. If you just stand there, he'll take out a chocolate bar and just start chomping away on one.
Yeah. There's plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite things too. Is just how expressive Zack is. Because he is a silent protagonist, but the character animations are great, and there's a lot of funny situations that you can find yourself into. Like, even when you do fail, it's always really funny to see. One of them has this robot who you walk through the snow, and every time you walk through the snow, every like 10 or 15 seconds or so, once a clock hits around to the top, this robot will come out with a broom, getting all pissed off that you made any footprints. And if you're in the way of him sweeping, he'll just whack the shit out of you, and Zack will go flying into the screen, and it will crack, like the Simpsons arcade game, kind of how you get whacked right into the front of the screen, kind of just like that. I like, it's almost as fun just seeing the death animations sometimes, as long as you're not 30, 40 minutes into the fucking level. Then it's annoying.
Yeah, I guess that's the weird thing. It's like, I don't know, like, I can't get up, like, a lot of it is fun, and a lot of it seems, it's very cartoonish and it's very enjoyable on that level, but it just seems way too punishing in regards to, like...
Punishing?
Yeah. Like, when you fail, you would have to start from the beginning or just spend money on, like, a platinum. I don't know.
Well, you don't. You don't have to start from the beginning.
You're gonna have to, well, either that or just use a platinum ticket and revive on the spot.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't you just lose out on money? Don't you just lose out on, like, all the cash that you gain on that level as well? Like, if you use a platinum ticket?
You lose out on points.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you keep... I don't remember if you keep the cash. I just know... I never really encountered a problem until near the end of the game when I was having trouble with that one part. But other than that, I had plenty of tickets.
And that's like the whole point for a score system. It's based on how well you do. If you don't do well, why should you get the score?
No, it's like, it's the cash that you lose out on, don't you? I'm pretty sure you do. Like, I've failed quite a few times.
I mean, but you can restart the level and get all that cash back.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's kind of punishing in that respect. Because I don't want to start over again.
A little bit. It's not too bad.
Again, I just suck at puzzle games in this instance. So that's why I just feel like it's punishing.
Fair enough. You do have to use your head a lot.
Yeah.
It's not simple. You're not walking through this game without using your brain. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also the boss fights. I mean, we didn't really mention that, but they're really good. I really loved all the boss fights at the end of each world in this game, especially the last boss. I'm not gonna get get into spoilers with this. Last boss is really fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot all about the bosses here. Yeah, they're enjoyable. They're great.
Yeah, like the first boss, you fight a big monkey type thing. And that one's okay, but they get even better as you go along. You fight a giant squid on a pirate ship. You fight a couple Iron Maidens. Honestly, the castle levels get really creepy too. There's some shit in there that you're like, oh geez, like statues with like eyes that start like bleeding purple goo.
Adorable little
creepy
monsters.
Shit. Yeah. It's cool. I love all this, they use a lot of, you got the jungle world, and then you got the ice world, and then the fire world, and then the haunted castle.
Oh, yeah.
And, but some of the other levels come in between, which are really cool. There's like the pirate, there's the airship that you go on when you fight, you go against like Rose and her crew.
Yeah.
That level is really fun. And there's a pirate ship boss level, and they're very, very cliche for the main worlds, though, with fire, ice, and grass. But it's spooky. But the levels themselves all look really cool, and they're all just, it's so, I like this game a lot. It's a lot of fun.
I was kind of okay with the world. Yeah, no, now you mention it, it does seem cliche, but I was kind of okay with it. Like, I'm used to it. I don't think... I would be surprised if they try and... I don't know what else they could, like, add to it or, like, change it. I don't know. It feels like this is the best they could do in regards to, like, world building or, like, what type of world they're in. I can't imagine them straying anything beyond, like, the fire world or ice world or, like, pirate ship world, considering that they're just pirates in the middle of a sea, just going through adventures from island to island. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
It was okay because I can't imagine him doing anything more than that sort of thing. So it's like, it didn't really bother me that much.
They should make a sequel.
They should
make a sequel. They really should, and it's never gonna happen.
They should either make a sequel or just do a remaster for the Switch. we have the
Yeah, a
technology.
remaster without motion controls.
We do
I'd
have
like to
motion
see.
controls in the Switch. Yeah, that could work. Actually,
Motion controls
That's
or even
true.
touchscreen controls.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, this game with Joy-Cons honestly would probably be even better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would totally play it again with that, and maybe they would fix that shit with this, like, with some of the controls problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they probably would, and yeah, come on, Capcom, if you're listening, get on it, please. We beg.
We know
beg
you're listening. We expect you to listen.
We know you're listening. You got three people who would buy it right now. Come on. Also, this game, if you don't have a Wii hanging around, and you do have a Wii, which I guess would make more sense if you have a Wii, 'cause the Wii, I mean, if you have a Wii U sold like shit. But I think this game might have been released on the Wii U, like Virtual Console. You know how they release Wii games on there?
Yeah.
I think it might have been. I don't know for sure. But if it is, if you have a Wii, find this game, give it a try. I recommend it. What about you, Seth?
I would recommend it. Yeah, like if you have it, if you want to have a good time with your kid, that would be a perfect thing to play. Definitely.
Yeah.
And make your kids smart.
Yeah, make your kids feel smart, make you feel like a cool dad.
What about you, Noah?
Oh yeah, definitely would recommend this. As far as any puzzle, any person that likes puzzle games or point and click adventures, this is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Great game for him.
And I'm sure it's probably cheap if you really want to buy a copy nowadays. You can probably find it for like $20 or less. I'm gonna guess. The game didn't sell a ton, but I'm sure there's plenty of copies out there that you could still purchase, and it wouldn't be very expensive. So if you're interested in it, I would pick it up. Now, you guys have anything else to say about this game in terms of your experiences playing it or anything else?
Not really, no. Like, I feel so like I got...
No, pretty much covered almost everything.
I mean, there's not much there to talk about beyond what we've talked about. I don't think there's anything else that was noteworthy about this game beyond what I've just said.
All right. Well, I mean, I did talk a lot, but I really did like this game a lot.
Yeah, I totally get it, yeah.
Yeah. It was sometimes frustrating, but that is going to happen.
Yeah, I just wish, just with a lot of games before it, the motion controls were just a little bit better.
Yes. I mean, if the motion controls were a little bit better, I think, this game would be like freaking real high up there, man. And, it was the perfect amount of challenge in terms of puzzle. I was never really stumped, but I did have to stop and experiment, and I never got really pissed off at the puzzles. I just got pissed off at the motion controls.
Yeah, Sorry, go.
So I was gonna say, it's time to really figure out how we feel about this game. Because now it's time to put it on the list.
The list!
The list!
Alright, so I had a lot of good things to say about this game, and I guess if I had to place it somewhere on here, I'm gonna say I think it belongs around some other game club games we played. I think it belongs around the Mario Tennis Alundra area.
Yeah, that seems like a decent spot to be looking around.
I was actually looking at around the Elite Beat Agents, but yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Well, my Until Dawn is very good.
Until Dawn is very good.
I forget that Until Dawn's that low and Limbo's there and Alundra and Tennis Aces. It's like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, but it's also
right. I mean, I think. Oh, go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, I think Nier Replicant offers a lot more, and it feels like a lot more to me. Like, I enjoy it more than I would enjoy Zack and Wiki.
I mean, I know how you feel about puzzle games, Seth.
No, it's not even that. It's like, this game is like designed, or like it feels as though it's designed to be for kids. Like it's like, as I mentioned before, simple story.
But it's definitely
simple,
not.
Yeah.
No, any adult can enjoy this game.
No. That you know. Wait, let me just finish. So it's like everything is about it feels like it's designed for a kid, but what doesn't make it feel designed for a kid is the fact that it's puzzle, and that sort of contradiction kind of like weirds me out.
The only thing that makes it seem like that is the art style.
Yeah, no, the art style, the music, the story, everything about it is very simple. It's nothing too complex, nothing too hard to understand. It's just that's the design of it, and the puzzle doesn't feel as the puzzle element of this does not feel as though it matches with what they're going for. But
it's the strongest part of the game. The puzzle element's why you play the game, because it's a fun puzzle game. I know.
I'm just saying it just doesn't fit with the...
This game gets really inventive and fun with its puzzles.
Yes, I grant it to you. However, it doesn't...
But who dictates what a puzzle game has to have in terms of, an art style or direction?
What I'm trying to say is that if they're trying to target this to children, or they're trying to make it feel as though it's something that children would like to pick up and play, they wouldn't try and make it as fucking hard as it is right now. Like, they would try and at least simplify the puzzles alongside everything else. That's not really
taking away from... The fact that they didn't hit their target demographic, I don't think takes away from the fact that this is a fantastic game.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it just doesn't match.
He's just saying that it doesn't match. It doesn't match with, like, the core gameplay doesn't match with what they were trying
accomplish
to
with the
make it look like or feel like.
I don't necessarily agree with that, because there's nothing that dictates like what a puzzle game needs to be like in terms of like.
No, he's not like he doesn't mean it as like a general for puzzle games. He means this game in particular. It's got like the art style, the simplicity of it, like would make you think that
the art style's
geared
amazing.
Towards. No, it is, yes, but what Saf is trying to say is it makes it all look like they're trying to point it towards kids, like that's the kid demographic that they were going for, but because that probably wasn't, or because the puzzles themselves are like such high difficulty, it doesn't really match with that. That's as a package.
Okay, I mean, but I don't really think that's really a knock. I think that's kind of stupid. At least personally for me. I don't really think that's a knock towards the game itself.
That's fine. I just don't feel as though, like, if you're trying to go for, like, a good game or like, a good overall package, every single part of this game needs to match with each other, and everything needs to feel as though it's natural.
I haven't played Nier.
Like, no, what I'm saying is, like, if you want to make that, like, that's the whole idea of, like, a good game, where it's, like, everything about it feels natural and feels as though it matches with each other. Like,
but that's what I feel like it does. I don't think... I'm just not... I think your argument is bad, honestly. I think this is a really bad
it's kind of a little bit nonsensical there, Seth.
Yeah, that's like saying Tetris is bad because it uses cartoony graphics because it's a puzzle game.
What? No, what?
Like, I don't know.
What? Wait, how does that analogy work?
It's like docking Tetris because it's like... or a difficult puzzle game. I don't know. It's just...
I'm saying...
if the art style was bad, but it's so charming.
That's not the point that I'm trying to make. Like...
I know. It just seems like a dumb argument because the fact that it's a hard game, but it looks cutesy...
Like, it's like me saying that...
That's a really dumb thing to dock.
No, you're trying to present it as a dumb argument. It's like you're trying to justify violence in Sesame Street. That's what you sound like you're doing. This is exactly what you sound like you're doing.
If you're playing a game that looks like...
You're trying to say it's like...
I bet people like Happy Time Murderers because it blends Sesame Street with a murder adult movie. This game is like an adult comedy. Yeah, it's cool, right?
No.
I just think, blending through things together... when a difficult puzzle game can look cutesy. I don't... see how that's bad.
You're looking at it's like the entire point of Sesame. Alright, the entire point of Sesame Street is like it's supposed to be designed for kids. It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be understanding, and for whatever reason now they decide to just start killing each other. Like that doesn't match at all. That doesn't fit at all.
No, not in Sesame Street. That's like saying this. That's dumb. Because
that's sidetrack. We're not talking about Sesame Street.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
dumb, Saf.
You designed this game to be a particular way, and then you add this one part part or one element of it that doesn't fit the entire design of this game.
It's like you're
doesn't
saying.
work out to me as an overall package.
Saying
yeah, but should it really deduct that many points from the game though, Saf?
Nier Replicant is a fucking good game.
Puzzle game can't be cutesy.
Nier is a really good game. Alundra is a really good game. Everything above it is a really good game. This is not saying that it's a bad game. It's just saying that compared to the other things about it, they actually understood what they're trying to do, and they actually felt did what they wanted to do better.
This game had a direction. It knew what it was trying to do. This man, I'm gonna. We're gonna have to agree.
Okay, so whereabouts
this game has a direction.
Again,
it knows what it's gonna do, and it's a fantastic game. The only thing that's holding it back to me is just the lack of like motion controls. Sometimes don't work great, but this is one of the best like point and click adventure games I've ever played.
And whereabouts did you want to put it again?
Under Nier.
Like, under 10 Aces? You wanted to put it under Nier. I know that. Brandon wanted to put it under 10 Aces?
I want to put it above Mario Tennis Aces.
You want to put it above?
Yes.
So we got one there. All right, I'll be the tiebreaker and put it like smack in the middle.
You think it should go below Mario Tennis Aces but above Nier?
Yes.
Can you justify it?
Well, I don't think it should be higher than Mario Tennis Aces because it's just a more like it's weird because they're completely different games and it's like fucking goddamn it.
That's why I'm looking at it from an overall package type of deal, like what they're trying to present, what their targets are, what they're trying to, what
their targets are is like just mind numbing.
It's like what type of game?
Like, it's like you're docking the game because it didn't sell well.
I'm not docking the game because it didn't sell. I'm docking the game because it doesn't match.
Or like saying,
it's like,
because it's
like going out in a fancy dress, but decide to put on clown makeup.
Because
like,
you suck at puzzle games, but it's not the hardest.
It's like
thing
putting it's like you're going out to dinner, you put on a nice suit, but for whatever reason you want to put the mask of a fucking clown on you. Like it doesn't match. I don't know why you put on this mask. What is the point of this? It doesn't fit this type of venture.
Right? What? Tell me.
That's the only reason why.
I want you to explain to me what the aesthetic and fucking art style of this game should have been. Should have been fucking Jason running around solving puzzles?
No, I would have said that
because it was too hard for you. Please tell me.
If it was going to be something that felt childlike, then they should have simplified the puzzle.
The fucking art style is amazing in this game. Tell me, Mr. Fucking
I just told you that,
I'm
man.
a master game designer.
I literally told you that for like.
I want to know what your art style for this game is.
I'm not going to sit there and correct what type of art style it's going to be. All I'm just saying that if they wanted it,
because the art style's fine. It doesn't matter. The art style's charming. It's great.
Will you let me finish? Right. I feel as though you're just starting shit for the sake of starting shit. Do. Like, it's not a big deal. This is just my opinion. Like, if they wanted it to be feel more childlike or feel like it belongs to
chill. I get your opinion. I get where you're coming from.
They should have just, at the very least...
Literally, that's your argument for, like, docking this game.
It's not that... It's not a bad game. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it's not as good. Like, I felt more for Nier than I did over for fucking... I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
But then
I don't know what to tell you. like, it just... Overall package, it just... That's the thing that puts me off of it. It just doesn't match, man. It just doesn't match. It's not that complex, really. It's just like... It's supposed to be for children. It feels like it's supposed to be for children, but for whatever reason, the puzzles don't feel like it's designed for children. That's all it is. That just bugs me a lot.
You're kind of leading me away from... Like, you're making me disagree more than you with Saf, so I'm starting to lead with more Brandon now.
Alright.
So...
Is that the only reason why you think... It's like Nier's better.
Nier's better because it has a much more interesting story. They have much more interesting cast of characters. There's actually a lot more emotional attachment to it. Like stories, like the.
What about the gameplay itself?
The gameplay itself is lackluster. It's kind of dull, but it's still something. It's still serviceable. Like it still manages to allow you to experience the game fully, and it allows you to actually enjoy the game for what it is. And the Zack and Wiki doesn't have any of that. Like Zack and Wiki doesn't have the same emotion or like the same connection with me. Like it's something that doesn't.
Well, I feel like Zack and Wiki had more gratification after you complete its levels and play the game in general. Like, well, that's like a general side effect that you get from puzzle games in general, but for what it wanted to do and what it tried to be, it kind of executed it very well. Aside from the motion controls, but that's why it's already like low on this list right now.
For what it wanted to be and what it tried to do, it didn't execute it well. If it had puzzle games that were that fucking ridiculous.
It wasn't that ridiculous.
If it was trying to be designed for kids, then they shouldn't have had puzzles that were that hard.
But that's the thing. Was it really designed for kids? You're going against your own
fucking logic here. Like, if that's what you really care about, then you should be siding with me. Because it didn't reach what it was trying to do with it.
Saf, was this really designed for kids, or was it just the visuals that are tricking you into thinking that?
The characters were simple.
Right.
The story was simple. It wasn't that complex. The music was just simple. Like, nothing about it screamed complex or like for an adult. Nothing about it. Other than the puzzles themselves. We discussed this through and through.
Yeah, but only dark-themed games are
not dark-themed geared towards adults. I want a character to be more than two-dimensional. Like, I want some variety in their emotions. I want something more to them than just, I like to eat chocolate.
What are you saying? Didn't I explain to you how, like how expressive and, like, fun it is to watch Zack, all his expressions? It's not like he's just, like, boring.
I'm sure.
Are you saying the game has to? Are you saying the only good games do you have to have? Like, Mario's a silent protagonist.
No,
right? Like the game doesn't have a very good story. Like it does a compelling story.
You're assigning different things to me again that I'm not trying to say. I'm saying that it's. Oh god damn it! I'm saying the reason why I think this is a child's game.
You know what you're
the reason why I think this is a child's game is because of the fucking simplicity of it. That's the reason why I think this is a child. Where the fuck are you coming up with these arguments now? I don't understand this.
What you were just saying.
Why I think it's a child's game.
You were just saying that he was. He had no good characteristics. The game was like the character was boring.
I think it's a child's game. I don't know why you're purposely making this.
He has a lot of characteristics.
Why are you purposely trying to make this more stupid than it? What? No.
You're the one making this stupid stuff.
Look, the reason why I think this is a child's game is the reason why I cited to you. Why you're adding all this extra stuff? It's like, oh, is this what you want from all video games? Is this what you want, more complexity in this? No, this is how I feel it's a child's game. Exactly this. It's very, very simple. It's not that complex. The characters are two-dimensional. Like, it's not something that's supposed to confuse a child.
They're very expressive, but they're not two-dimensional. I disagree with that completely.
But anyway.
That's what I was trying to say, that the characters are very expressive and fun. They're not two-dimensional.
It's not what I'm trying. Oh my god. Whatever.
That's literally what you said. Now you're not trying to say it.
You just don't understand it. I don't get you.
You don't even understand what you're trying to say.
Dude, come on, man. What the fuck? Like, I don't get you whatsoever, man.
Alright. Alright. I think we've kind of dragged this on a bit more than it was supposed to. So, and we're just repeating ourselves. So let's go with. Alright, put it above Mario Tennis Aces.
Okay. Alright, so let's put it there. Number 30. Number 30 on the list will be Zack and Wiki. So around it, we've got number 28, the always good, always fun Until Dawn. We got number 29, Alundra, also a Game Club game. Go listen to that episode. Number 30, Zack and Wiki, The Quest for Barbaros Treasure. And we got number 31, Mario Tennis Aces, also another Game Club episode, pretty recent. Go listen to that. And number 32, Nier Replicant. Thank you guys for joining today. That was fun. It was a lot more to say
I
about
didn't
Zack and
expect
Wiki
if we
then, I thought.
fucking have an argument over fucking Zack and Wiki. Jesus.
I know, what the fuck, man. But it was fun. Thank you guys for joining. Always, make sure you go check us out on every single social media platform available. Well, maybe not every single one, but the important ones like Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're especially follow us on Twitter because we're going to tweet when the episodes go up. We're going to tweet when we go live on Twitch, which we also stream on a couple times a week. Me and Noah and Saf, we all play video games there. It's a lot of fun. So, just make sure you follow us on Twitter. You'll get to see live notifications. Follow us on Twitch so you can get your notifications, email, or whatever when we go live. And sometimes we play Game Club games on there. Speaking of Game Club games, Saf, my friend, you picked the next game that we're playing.
Indeed, I did. Then
what game did you pick?
That game is a favorite of mine. It's one of those games that didn't sell well, but it is called Ghost Trick. Ghost Trick is just a game where you are a dead person, you're a ghost, and upon discovery that you're a ghost, you realize that you have two types of powers. One, you can possess inanimate objects and then activate them, or certain ones. And two, you can possess a human body or a newly dead body and go back in time at precisely 4 minutes before they've died. And with those two powers, you try and save their lives.
Sounds cool. And that game's on the
That
Nintendo DS. Right?
I hope it doesn't have cel-shaded graphics because then I might think it's for kids.
Motherfucker. I genuinely cannot believe you say that it does what it does. It reaches with its goals and then, you frustrate me so much.
Good.
I cannot believe you think Zack and Wiki actually does what it was supposed to do, when it clearly does not do what it's supposed to do. It's the most...
Okay, well, it was supposed to be higher than Mario Tennis, isn't it?
It was designed for kids, and it doesn't actually make a game for kids.
That was good, Noah. Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm excited to play that game, man. It's a game that I've always wanted to play. And it's actually on my list of games that I was going to pick in the future, so... Nice choice, Saf. I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited.
Well, I'm glad you're excited. I'm also excited, too.
So...
Yeah,
I'm excited. So...
I heard good things about it.
Can we end so that I could cry about this episode?
Well, join us in 2 weeks. We'll be back talking about Ghost Trick. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Noah, and thank you, Saf, for joining me and playing Zack and Wiki. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to playing more games. So go out there, play some video games, have a great day, and take it easy.
Yeah. Bye.